President Donald Trump invited Modi. Modi is the prime minister of India. He's also, of course, India is a part of BRICS, just FYI, if you're not aware, to the White House to discuss some type of partnership. At the same time, Donald Trump threatened to put 100% tariffs on BRICS nations if they were to move away from the dollar. Now, you know that he's been pressuring them about this earlier on, but the reality is this, folks. In my opinion, these countries have the right to use the currency that they want to use. You really can't point fingers at these countries after you put sanctions on them for years and then say, oh, you still got to use our currency, though. The U.S. has sanctions on Russia. You know what I mean? So BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So Donald Trump right now is trying to take land away from the Black South Africans in South Africa. And then you want to point your finger at these people and say you still have to use our currency. Not a good look. So all this is happening at once. So Modi was here, and guess who goes to the White House to meet Modi? Vivek Ramaswamy and his father-in-law. Now, remember, Vivek is not a part of Doge anymore, but he's still all up in this piece. Okay. This is from Modi. Modi tweeted this. I met Mr. Vivek Ramaswamy and his father-in-law in DC. We talked about diverse issues, including innovation, culture, and more. Why is Modi? So you guys need to start asking these questions. Vivek Ramaswamy is no longer part of Doge. He made this very clear himself when he was on the Breakfast Club. Why is Vivek there? Why are you all up in that? So do you see? There's Modi in the middle. There's Vivek. There's his father-in-law. And then there are other pictures here. They're sitting down, meeting and talking with Modi. This just cracks me up. Like, I can't believe this, right? So let me tell you something else that happened. So Donald Trump brought Modi here because he wanted to make some deals with India that mainly favor the U.S. And one of those deals involves oil. Now, I want you to think about something. If you know that you can get oil from another country for a cheaper price, you're more likely to do that. Donald Trump told Modi that you will now only trade oil with the United States. It is cheaper for India to get oil from Russia. Russian oil is cheap. And Modi agreed to it. I kid you not. Again, India is a part of BRICS. Listen to this, guys. This is crazy.
Starting this year, we'll be increasing military sales to India by many billions of dollars. We're also paving the way to ultimately provide India with the F-35 stealth fighters. In 2017, my administration revived and reinvigorated the Quad security partnership. And our meeting today, the Prime Minister and I reaffirmed that strong cooperation among the United States, India, Australia, and Japan. And it's crucial, really, to maintaining peace and prosperity, tranquility, even in the Indo-Pacific.
Friends, today we have also set ourselves the target of more than doubling bilateral trade to attain $500 billion by 2030.
$500 billion तक पहुंचाने का.
Our teams will work on concluding very soon a mutually beneficial trade agreement in order to ensure India's energy security.
Now, if you notice, one of the things that Donald Trump said that they will be trading with India or giving to India is weapons. Why are we giving India weapons? Modi, for those who are not aware, is not too kind to the Muslim community. And you have to remember, obviously, everyone in India, does not practice the same religion. So there are some in India that are Muslim, and there are some in India that are Hindu, and maybe some that are agnostic. But Modi is against the Muslim population. This is a big one that people really need to understand. and he's agreeing to give them weapons. What's that all about? Let's continue on.
ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट को
We will focus on trade in oil and gas.
भारत की ऊर्जा सुरक्षा सुनिश्चित करने में हम ऑयल तथा गैस ट्रेड को बल
So that is happening right now. And another thing that people need to realize as well that I want to bring up, again, don't forget that India is a part of BRICS. So India just agreed with Donald Trump to get oil from the United States and no other country, which means they will not be getting oil from Russia. What is that going to do with the relationship between India and Russia? Both of these countries are a part of BRICS. Now you have someone that's a part of the BRICS nations that has decided to veer off of the course. The point of BRICS is to have a multipolar world. BRICS is supposed to kind of push back on the West, not rely on the West. And now you have India saying, Modi's like, yeah, we'll do that. So what does that do to BRICS? Something else interesting happened during this conversation as well. You got to see this one. Oh my God. I told you Trump has a tendency to say the quiet part out loud. Here he is. This is Ryan Grimm here. Here he is saying it wasn't our deep state that did regime change in Bangladesh. It was Modi's. So Modi is sitting right next to Donald Trump, right next to him. Watch this.
Say about the Bangladesh issue, because we saw and it is evident that how the deep state of United States was involved to regime change during the Biden administration. Then Muhammad Yunus made Junior Soros also. So what is your point of view about the Bangladesh?
And what is the role that the deep state played in the situation in Bangladesh?
Well, there was no role for our deep state. It was. This is something that the Prime Minister has been working on for a long time and has been worked on for hundreds of years, frankly. I've been reading about it. But I will leave Bangladesh to the Prime Minister.
So do you see what Donald Trump just did? He said that right in front of Modi. So this is another thing I think that some people don't like about Donald Trump is the transparency. Like, of course, old school Republicans and also old school Democrats and current Democrats as well. They are used to keeping these kind of conversations behind closed doors. But Donald Trump says everything like he has no filter. So he just said it to his face, which I think is fair. Say it. You're going to say it to their face. But he said it to his face and in front of the press. He was like, no, that wasn't us who did that. That was you. So Modi is just like, no pushback or anything there. And I want to show you a little bit more from this discussion because it's just crazy stuff. The tariffs. The other part was Trump threatened to put 100% tariffs on BRICS countries who want to move away from the dollar. So I want you to hear this part here. President Trump announces reciprocal tariffs on India while standing next to Modi. Like, I kid you not, guys. Watch this.
Mr. President, you've repeatedly called India a big abuser of trade and said it is really difficult to do business in India because of tariffs. You announced reciprocal tariffs today. I am hoping you can speak about what kind of reciprocal tariffs India can expect. Are you willing to make any concessions? And how can India head off these tariffs? I also have one for the Prime Minister.
Well, India's been, to us, just about the highest tariffed nation anywhere in the world. They've been very strong on tariffs, and I don't blame them necessarily, but it's a different way of doing business. It's very hard to sell into India because they have trade barriers, very strong tariffs. We are right now a reciprocal nation. We are going to, if it's India or if it's somebody else with low tariffs, we're going to have the same. We're going to have whatever India charges, we're charging them. Whatever another country charges, we're charging them. So it's called reciprocal, which I think is a very fair way. We didn't have that. I was going to do that in my other term, and we had the greatest economy ever in the world. There's never been an economy like we had, and then we got hit with COVID. We had to focus on that, and I wasn't really in the mood to be putting it on Italy and Spain and France and India, frankly, and a lot of other countries, because the world was very troubled until we got rid of that nightmare. But we had the strongest economy anywhere in the world during that fairly long period of time during my first term, as you know, and we didn't do the tariffs. We would have done the reciprocal tariffs, but we decided, and I decided, I think on a human basis, on a humane basis, not to do them because of the fact that there was such suffering all over the world. The last thing we needed to talk about is trade problems. But now we do. We're doing, we see a tremendous future for our country, but we felt that now it's finally time, after 45 or 50 years of abuse, that we will do, and this isn't India, this is among a lot of nations. The European Union is very difficult for us, very, very difficult. They tax our companies at levels that nobody's ever seen before. They take advantage of a lot of things, so we're not happy about that. China, of course, is terrible, and we've never taken in 10 cents until I was president. We've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars from China since I've been president in first term and now. And we have to do that just as a mechanism of fairness. And that's what I've done. And so we are being reciprocal with India. Whatever India charges, we charge them. So frankly, it no longer matters to us that much what they charge, because whatever they charge, I had discussions with India in the first term about the fact that their tariffs were very high, and I was unable to get a concession. So we're just going to do it the easy way, and we're just going to say whatever you charge, we charge. And I think that's fair for the people of the United States, and I think it's actually fair for India.
Right in front of his face. Modi is standing right next to him. Modi is standing right next to Donald Trump. Like, and he tells him right there, yeah, you know, we're going to do these tariffs and da-da-da. Again, a lot of transparency there, just right out in the open. And I think that's what some people don't like about Donald Trump. And then there is this statement from Donald Trump. This is all happening in the same week, the same time. This statement from Donald Trump where he says BRICS is dead. Like, and I don't understand. Modi's just like chilling. Like what?
Yeah.
Mr. President, in the past you have spoken against BRICS. India is part of BRICS. Do you want to dismantle BRICS, or you want to US want to be part?
I don't care, but BRICS was put there for a bad purpose, and most of those people they don't even want to talk about it now. They're afraid to talk about it because I told them if they want to play games with the dollar, then they're going to be hit with a 100% tariff the day they mention that they want to do it. And they will come back and say, we beg you not to do this. BRICS is dead since I mentioned that. BRICS died the minute I mentioned that. And I remember when Obama and Biden in particular, I guess he said that, they have us over a barrel. They don't have us over a barrel. We have them over a barrel. If BRICS wants to play games, those countries won't trade with us. We won't trade with them. And if any trading gets through, it'll be 100% tariff at least.
100% tariff. So here's the thing. Let me tell you part of the real reason why they don't want these countries to move away from the dollar. Marco Rubio said the quiet part out loud. And that is because if they decide not to use our currency, we can't sanction them. I mean, again, the number of times that the US government has sanctioned Russia and they still want Russia to say, okay, I'll continue to use your currency. And what these countries are trying to do is they're trying to, again, create a multipolar world where there isn't this dominant figure. They're trying to, I would call it a horizontal organization, similar to, or kind of similar to like what the Black Panthers had. Remember the Black Panthers, like horizontal, like, so, or was supposed to be horizontal, but that's what they want to do. They are tired of being bullied by the US. They are tired of just basically having to cower to what the US wants or they get sanctioned. And maybe these countries wouldn't even be thinking about moving in that direction if we didn't freaking sanction them all the damn time. It's things like that. It's a mess. We'll let them finish here.
You know what? When they hear that, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to say, look what happened to BRICS. They didn't want to talk about it. They don't even want to admit that they were a member of BRICS. That's what's happened.
Yeah. So BRICS is not dead. I don't know what the hell India is doing, but it's not dead. It's not over. But this is just China is a part of BRICS, you guys. And we don't produce much here in the United States. We get a lot of things from China. People need to understand how much we get from Mexico, Canada, China, because we don't produce much here. We sent jobs over to China because of capitalism. Because corporations wanted to be greedy and they said, you know what? We can still produce these products if we get the parts or if the parts are cheaper and we don't have to have as many people work here. So we can lay people off, get cheaper parts and still produce the products and we'll make more money. We, as in the CEOs, etc. So, I mean, we really ain't got it like that. Like, I'm being honest. We really don't have it like that. So looks can be deceiving because the way that Trump is talking, if you weren't aware of this situation and if you weren't paying as much attention to foreign policy, it might be easy to sit back there and say, oh yeah, I agree with this. This makes sense. Not thinking about the fact that we don't produce much here. So we can pretend like we don't need China, but we do. And that's not China's fault. That's the US fault. Crazy times, guys. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, but the way that some of these leaders are just cowering to Donald Trump, it is, I don't get it. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on, but I'm curious. I would love to be a fly on that wall to hear what Xi Jinping has to say about this, to hear what Vladimir Putin has to say about this. I'd love to be a fly on that wall. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.